my foster parents, Friedrich and Hedwig, they liked to go from job to job, and they were on their way to go to another job, leave Nix, and go to a little town by Bad Oldesloe, which is a aristocratic town, and my parents at that time were working for people that owned a castle. And it was a beautiful castle. It's still, of course, standing today. And I have visited it not too long ago, and it's beautiful. I remember that there was a child, maybe a year younger than I was at that time, and I think I was 4. This little kid maybe was 3. And I know that the grandfather took care of us while the parents also worked. And the grandfather let us slide down this big, wide banister. And that was wonderful because he put a kissen down first so we wouldn't get any splinters. Or if we would fall on the kissen. And it was really a good life, but it was very, very short life at that place. I don't know why. But I know that one day the Nazis came to pick up the little boy's mother and father because they were Jewish, and of course at that time Hitler wanted to get rid of all the Jews out of his land, and they kind of disappeared. I asked at that time my foster father, what are they doing with them? And he replied, they're going to the dentist. Now there were 6 soldiers taking care of these two people, the parents of my little friend. And I never saw them again. But I heard later on that the grandfather that helped us to play with, the grandfather and his wife, the grandmother, they got a ship where they could go and flee to Argentina, and they probably spend the rest of their life there. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what happened at that time. And so this is about all I can. Oh, there's one incident I think I should probably mention. My foster father was taking care of all the milk cows, and he had some people working with him and for him to milk the cows every day, like getting up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because the truck was going to take the milk, the raw milk, to be homogenized and processed. So that's what we did. That's what our life was. And I remember one time there was this big stalls where the cows are, and I was laying in a bundle of straw. And they also had a goat for good luck that was walking around all the place. And I remember the goat licking my face, and I didn't like it. But that's all I remember from that particular stand. And we then left the castle, and we started. I remember the moving van, which was like a truck with a tarpaulin on it. It was not much of a moving van, but that's what we did. We packed up, and we went to a little smaller place on the other side of Bad Oldesloe, and we started to work for a farmer at that place, because in the meantime all the able-bodied men were pulled and they had to go into mandatory employment in the service, in the army. So they used to take whoever they could that was too old to fight anymore, which my father was. And We the place's name was, the little town was only one street. It was called Poggensee, which is spelled Poggen, and Zee, which means lakes or lake. And I remember our housing was a cottage with 4 or 5 different apartments just on the one floor. And the cottage, one day, I don't know how it happened, but we know that the straw-covered roof started to burn, and we were doing the old bucket job, and we could go and take care of the flames. And then, after that, we were continuing to travel from Poggensee to Hamburg. And let's stop for a minute.